Good morning, this is Gradle from Elevate Care Insights. Today we've got a video about how to get customers, but mainly how to do research in the most profitable areas in England to ensure that you can get the rates that you're wanting to get. Now, there is a proviso here. This is just information for you. It's not for the purposes of you writing your statement of purpose. We're suggesting you do research like this and you go and find information to do with the area that you're thinking of providing your care and support. So I'm going to list the 10 English counties with the most densely inhabited older population, which is also the most wealthiest counties in Britain. Like always, please do like and subscribe. The more that you do that, the more information I can put on this channel, which is free. So please watch to the end and let me know your feedback in the comments. So one of the things that we really want to do in terms of our research when you're doing your statement of purpose, when you're doing your business plan, is to identify how you will make money and also how you will offer the best service to people who are your customers. This research identifies the English counties with the most densely inhabited older population and also the wealthiest. Why you want to know this is because actually you want to know how to gear your costings and also where to set up your agencies. So this information is quite complex as there's two factors and they don't really overlap. So we've got to tease out some information for you. But what we've done is we've researched this on all available government data, NHS data and local counties and borough data. And I've come up with some conclusions for you which you might find very interesting. So I'll start with the population density aspect first. Especially focusing on older populations, we can refer to a list of English counties and districts by population density. So as we know, the most densely populated county in the United Kingdom is Greater London, with a significant population density of about 14,000 or so people per square mile. Other densely populated areas include Bristol and the West Midlands. So this is really important to know if you're a care provider. Regarding the wealthiest areas in England and Great Britain actually, is Surrey and Sussex. They've been identified as some of the wealthiest areas in Great Britain, with residents owning significant assets. This is indicative of these counties being amongst the wealthiest, although specific data on the older population's wealth in these areas isn't really available from the sources that we've looked at, but you can do that information, you can find that information yourself. So combining these two aspects, I've tentatively listed some English counties that might fit both criteria to some extent. Counties like Surrey and Sussex are known for their wealth, while areas like Greater London and the West Midlands have high population densities. It's important to note that these combinations of wealth and older population density isn't exactly and explicitly detailed, but here you go. Here's the top 10 counties that fit both of those criteria: population density by elders and wealth. Number 1 is Greater London. Number 2 is the West Midlands. Number 3 is Surrey. Number 4 is Sussex. Number 5 is Hampshire. Number 6 is Essex. Number 7 is Kent. Number 8 is Hertfordshire. And number 9 is Berkshire. And finally, number 10 is Gloucestershire. So as I said, each of these counties have characteristics that could place them in the category of having a densely inhabited elders population and being among the wealthiest in Britain. However, like I said, you need to do a deeper analysis of this combining wealth data and demographic specific for the older population. So, let's delve into this a little bit more. I'm going to think about some of the statistics and analysis that we do have, and mainly that's from the census. So of 2021 census, over 1/6, that's 18.6% of the population were aged 65 years and over, an increase of 16.4% since the 2011 census. This indicates a growing older population across the regions. So you need to know that although I've just given you some of the most densely populated and wealthiest regions, there is still room for care agencies across England and Wales because of the rising density of the older population. Okay, so when you're diving down deeper and looking at local authorities with the highest percentage of the population aged over 65, then we're looking at Norfolk with 34% and Rover with 32.4%. East Devon has the highest percentage of the population aged 90 years and over with 1.9%, followed by Rover with 1.8%. Now, going back to think about the wealthiest towns, you want to think about in those areas, what are the populations in those areas and what does the wealth look like in those areas? You need to also think about their health. So what kind of people would be wanting your services? Some of the information we get from the government is that we have the rise in both elders who are men and women, people who need care input going into their 60 plus age groups, but also think about race. It's very important because what we know from the statistics are that Asian British, and I'm going to say Asian Welsh people, they identify in the census as not living alone. So they've got lots of support. I'm not saying that they've got enough support, and I'm not saying that that's an area that you wouldn't consider to work with, but you need to think about who are the people who lack support in those areas. You also need to think about popular retirement locations. So this one is very interesting as specific towns and regions are known for their population among retirees. For instance, Llandudno in Wales, and I know I said I wasn't going to cover anywhere else apart from England, but Wales is very interesting. It's Llandudno in Wales is known for its picturesque coastal views and is a favourite destination for retirees. Other towns like Glossop, Southport, Ramsbottom, Saffron Walden and Teignmouth are also popular among the elders, offering various amenities and a high quality of life. These locations often feature a higher ratio of care homes to elderly people and amenities like bingo halls and green spaces, making them attractive retirement options. So this is a clue for you when you're doing your marketing. If you go to those places, if you think about how you can let those people know that you exist, there's places that people there hang out. I also looked at regional population trends. So broadly speaking, southern England has been identified as having a higher proportion of older residents. In 2016, West Somerset had the highest proportion of residents aged 65 and over. Projections suggest that by 2036, over half of local authorities are expected to have 25% or more of their local population aged 65 and over, with many of the highest authorities being in southern England. Coastal areas throughout the UK have traditionally had higher proportions of older residents, but this is expected to extend more inland over time, although London and the surrounding areas will remain amongst the lowest with a very low population. So that's interesting as well. So although London is the wealthiest and densely populated, it will still have the lowest area of the elder population going into the future. So, what do these findings say? They reflect broader trends and may not capture the nuances, the detail of every local community, which is why it's important to do local community research. So, I hope you have found that information useful. I'll go over that again in terms of the top 10 counties, places to look for: Greater London, West Midlands, Surrey, Sussex, Hampshire, Essex, Kent, Hertfordshire, Berkshire and Gloucestershire. But the real surprising thing is that areas in the north also have densely population of elders, and if you can make sure that your care agency is able to meet the demand in those smaller densely populated areas in terms of how much your finances, your costings are, you will be able to get lots of care agency traction with customers in places like the West Midlands and above. Like always, please do like and subscribe. We can make more videos like this for you in order for you to set up your care agency successfully. And also, please do leave any comments that you have about this information below. You can use this research when you're going for your CQC registration. So please do put a comment on how you found it and if you find it useful.